recommendation from the Legislative Committee. Would you, Miss Thomas, please give us those, I believe there are two recommendations, correct?
The two recommendations from the 5th District Committee on Legislation is that number one, that the 5th District Nurses Association endorse the action taken by the GSNA Executive Board on the following motion: that the GSNA Committee on Legislation continue its study of a Nurse Practice Act with the 4 other nursing organizations and delay introduction of any bill into the 1968 General Assembly until there is agreement among the organizations. The second recommendation is that consideration be given in future appointments of chairman to this committee of someone other than an appointed member of the State Committee on Legislation. The 5th District Association could have 2 voices in the State Committee deliberations, whereas we have one with the chairman of the District Committee is also a member of the State Committee.
Thank you. I'm in error. The second recommendation is to the board, who officially appoints the members of the standing committee. So it did not need, I asked you to read them both, but this one was approved by the board for information. But the first recommendation was that the membership of this organization support the content of the recommendation. Are there questions on this recommendation? Discussion. It goes from this body to the state board, GSNA board. Is this your pleasure? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Then it will be presented to the GSNA board as recommended. We have another item that came from board to the membership. A recommendation was presented in the form of a resolution for the promotion of membership in the Georgia State Nurses Association from the membership committee. Would you please read that to me? Resolution for the promotion of membership in the Georgia State Nurses Association. Whereas the Georgia State Nurses Association is a constituent of the American Nurses Association, and whereas the American Nurses Association is the national professional organization of registered nurses in 50 states and 5 territories, District of Columbia, Panama Canal Zone, Puerto Rico, and Virgin Islands. And whereas the purpose of the American Nurses Association is to foster and sustain high standards of nursing practice, to promote the professional and educational growth of nurses, to provide and direct programs for the welfare of nurses, and whereas this nation is committed to the goal that quality nursing service is a right of all people, and whereas the goal for membership in the Georgia State Nurses Association is every professional nurse who lives in Georgia, and whereas the growth and progress of the professional organization depends on a strong membership, therefore be it resolved that agencies and institutions which employ professional nurses make it possible for these nurses to join the Georgia State Nurses Association through payroll reduction program for payment of dues. And also be it resolved that nurses in key positions take the responsibility for working with administrators and boards of directors to implement a payroll reduction plan.
you've heard the reading of the resolution from the membership, which was approved by the board. It comes to you now for your pleasure, adoption. And we had, don't move down, we had an added motion to accompany it from the board. If you would please read that one also.
This motion states that I move that the purpose added to the resolution from the membership committee propose an addition, she has had to add in wording, propose an addition to the resolution from membership committee for promotion of membership and
yes, and promotion of a participation, promotion of and participation in professional membership programs by agencies. The intent is that we not only provide this resolution for employing agencies, but that we include the promotion of the participation in professional membership programs by the agency. Are there questions or is there discussion regarding this resolution?
Yes, does that mean that through when it says the payroll, does that mean each one would have to give consent for it to be deducted from that payroll? Isn't that what it is?
Yes.
They would have to give consent for it to be.
Yes. Is there further questions or discussion? All in favor of adopting this resolution, please indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. Then the resolution is adopted as presented. I have a number of announcements. We have invitations to be, excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before I move to announcements, is there other new business?
Now, that's the argument position for Mrs. Mary Case to make her presentation.
Yes, I have about 2 announcements that actually have come to our attention since one of them since the board, and then while we await the tellers, we'll be delighted to have some information. We have an announcement from the Executive Secretary, Mrs. Elizabeth Dixon, GSNA Executive Secretary, that all membership dues must be in GSNA headquarters by September 22nd in order for members to be eligible to vote. This is on the state voting. Members whose dues are received after that date will be issued an A&A card and may attend convention, but they will not receive a ballot. Dr. Nicholas Davies, who I believe is the chair of the United Pill, or the Fulton County Medical Society, has been in contact with me. He was particularly interested in saying to the nurses who are employed in the doctor's office that when the campaign person comes to the office campaigning funds, to please for the nurse to let the campaigner get to the doctor. So he has said he sent the Fulton County Medical Society editorial, "It's Our Own Destiny," as relates to United Peel, and he added, "I'm convinced of the value of the United Pill, and I hope I can convince others." So, I will share that, with you. Ms. Hammond, are you, while we wait the report of the, tellers, if you would please, introduce us, Ms. Case.
Thank you.
Excuse me, just a moment. Is Sister Patricia in the auditorium?
She's not in the building.
She is not in the building. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Madam President.
We're divided that Mrs. Mary Tate is in a position to present to us the refresher from
Just in case some of you don't recognize me, and if there has been some confusion in your mind, I am a bona fide member of District 5. So I thought I'd better clear that up. And you probably read some of the material that was handed you today. You looked back, you looked at the amount of the grant that was given to Georgia State Nurses Association. Believe me, I'm not getting all of that money, so relax. This covers a number of costs, administrative costs, mailings, and so on. But I'm sure a lot of you do have questions about this grant. What will it do for us? Hopefully it'll do a lot. But I would like to talk to you about it for just a moment, and then if you have questions, I would be most happy to answer those questions. But before we start, would everybody like to stand up and stretch? Now, those brave souls who have not chickened out will continue. The purpose of this project is rather broad. It's to implement a plan to assist in return of inactive health professionals to active employment. And every time I try to concentrate on nursing, I get a little letter from Washington that says, "We said all health professionals." And this is true. We have to look at the broad picture because in today's society and in today's nursing picture, we are an interdependent group and we cannot function alone. So I think that we have to look at a total picture. One of the ways that we have found best to activate the inactive professional, particularly the inactive professional registered nurse, is to offer her refresher training. Now, we don't mean just a collection of pamphlets and a couple of hours talks or something like this, but based on the idea and the assumption that this is an educational program. It will have objectives and it will have a good curriculum, and the nurses will come out of the course actually feeling that they have received something of value and will be able to begin functioning as a staff nurse at a beginning level. The plans that we have tried to make to implement this broad objective, to begin with, we decided that the best thing to do was to visit the districts and let all of you know about the project, what was the purpose of the project, what we are attempting to do, and then secondly, I was going to try for help. We do need your support. We need your assistance. We need it in contacting the inactive nurse, and I think you could be quite selfish here because if I furnish you with a list of inactive nurses, look at the potential here for membership. that. I think that's wonderful. Just, you know, all get on the stick, go out and beat the bushes and bring in all these inactive nurses and bingo, we've got members. The nurses inactive in this district are listed as 1,160. Does that shake you a little bit? It did me, because there are that many more that are not registered in Georgia that we don't have our fingers on. And these people are coming into the refreshment programs, and it is our job to sell them on their responsibilities to support their professional organization. So when we do this, we give you this nice long list of names, new members. We're going to need your help for other reasons to assess the needs for nurses in this area. We do have some information from the Georgia Hospital Association, but I think that their assessment of the need of personnel in this area was extremely low. They only named about 139 nurses needed as staff nurses in District 5. And either someone's daydreaming, because I think almost all of you could stand up right now and say we can use that many in our institution. But we do have to document these needs when we start out asking for assistance with funds to put on these programs. So when you're asked to participate in the survey, we would appreciate your taking the time to fill this out and send it back so that we'll have it documented. Frequently, I'm going to ask for help to help me identify facilities, help me identify faculty. Some of you know nurses that are quite capable teachers who've taken maternity leave or some silly thing like that, and are I'm speaking, I've got five. At any rate, sometimes we can't by bringing this to one place, you know, and let's identify these people and say, yeah, that girl can come in for 6 weeks and teach her course for us. And they could very well give up this much time. But we don't know about them unless you help us identify them. These are the kind of help that we're going to need from you in this district. So, here I'm talking about all of the help we need. Let me talk about the kind of help that we may be able to provide. Hopefully, we will be able to provide consultation for planning, for implementation, and for coordination of refresher courses. Now, as far as field district visits are concerned, this is the 5th district that I have been able to attend their meetings to present the project and what our plans are. And I feel very gratified because I have 4 more definite appointments made, and I think that's pretty good after 16. I think probably one of the problems right now is the fact that everyone's having annual meetings, changing officers, and I think they're just a little hesitant to dedicate themselves to a program as long range as this one. But in the metropolitan Atlanta area, we have asked the hospitals that have large general care facilities that are appropriate facilities for refresher courses to come together and coordinate and help us plan together. And we are attempting to project a 2-year plan for the area. This will involve each hospital about once every 2 years to co-sponsor a refresher course. And if we can plan this and we can publish it, and the nurses are going to know about it, I think we're going to have more calls than we have room to put. What do you think? At least we hope so. So let me tell you a little bit about what has happened in Marietta. They have requested a refresher course. We were unable to put it on this summer because we did not have a minimum number of students. So this fall, after scrounging around all over, we finally found some money. We found money through the vocational schools. They gave us a short-term contract, and they paid the salary of the instructor only for the actual teaching hours. So you know that this is a lot of time that this instructor is given in preparing for this course, that this salary is not going to adequately reimburse her for what she's putting into it. But Kempstone Hospital is also putting something into it because they believe that they're going to receive something. So they, as a cooperating and co-sponsoring facility, are paying for the clinical instructor to assist the lead instructor. They are furnishing facilities for classrooms, and they are furnishing disposable materials and libraries and things of this nature that will help us put on a successful course. We are oversubscribed to begin October 2nd. That is the best news I can give you. We have 25 appointments and 20 slots. There is so much interest that we have promised already 14 people, yes, we will have a winter course in Kempstone. I hope this sounds good to you. It sounds good to us. So the requests now are, can we have one in central portion of the city? Can we have one in the southwest portion of the city? So get ready, here we come. We will continue to need a lot of support from this organization. I would hope that you would look at this as one facet of continuing education and assume this as your professional responsibility to provide leadership wherever it is needed. If you will identify your needs for continuing education, we may find that an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Many of the things that I heard coming out today in the meetings made me realize that more and more we need to develop this area. I heard a cry from private duty nurses, and you talked about workshops. I know we need workshops in our section too, but I just found out that vocational training will provide funds for an instructor up to 150 hours to upgrade skills. Now, these are things that we didn't even know before because we had to ask people to give us their time. So let's think about all these little goodies that are coming our way and try to take advantage of it. If we do furnish this district with a list of enactments, and this is such a bonus as far as membership drives concerned, we were hoping that you would agree to help us make a duplicate card file system so that we can start identifying these nurses, whether they need refresher training now, whether they're going to need it later, because many of the young mothers that we contact said, oh, I'm dying to take a course, but you know, the kids won't all be in school, until 3 years from now. Well, if we can start projecting our plans on this basis, we'll be way ahead. We're already leading the Southeast in refresher training graduates, and let's keep it up. Where's Diana? She told me I had to shut up
That's perfect, right? Y'all fast, we need to stay in on all. Fast? Oh God, we didn't recount it about 4 times. But you met your brother.
Mrs. Cates, we appreciate that. I regret that the timing was such that we didn't get you in time for our meeting before our annual meeting came up. I had attempted in the information to be shared, sort of a little get-together information sheet that Carol, we worked on to tell the membership about your program and giving them something they can take home. And now we have, I believe, some further information. I would like for clarification, you will be available for section meetings or in share your information with
Be
us all.
glad to share any information and consultation. Just come visit. Just call me. I'll come.
Thank you. we appreciate your coming. Thank you. We move now back to the report of the tellers. Sharon, please,
Well, Chad, we have some of the old ballots, so we can mark them. There's one each.
we have some reservations.
I don't think we'll do that.
Do you have papers that you can share?
No, except some just little scrap paper.
I'm sorry, we believe that that's not passed these out. We will provide you with some paper. Everyone
Yes, some scrap paper.
There were 228 votes cast. One is Washington. That is 227 votes. For president, Mrs. Margaret Armstrong, 160. Mrs. Genevieve Jones, 67. For second vice president, Mrs. Merle Lott, 130. Mrs. Moorhead, 9. Mrs. Scruggs, 33. And Mrs. Burke Hopper, 55. For treasurer, Sister Mary Kristen, 163. Mrs. Elizabeth Eden, 64. For director, Mrs. Jean Alford, 79. Miss Mary Gannett, 113. Miss Gladys Garland, 143. Miss Kay Hopper, 124. Miss Lucille Hill, 45. Miss McCarter, 35. Mrs. Pearson, 66. Ms. Estelle Reese, 64. And I'm sorry, Ms. Lewis, I didn't do what you told me. I didn't read them in sequence. I have everything except. For the chairman of Committee on Nominations, Mrs. Charlotte Sykes, 138. Now, there were 2 omissions in this particular election. Particular part of the ballot. Mrs. Barone, 62. And Mrs. Wilma Brooks, 25. And 2 did not vote for this particular. Now, we're going to move that, of course. Ms. Lewis wants me to explain, excuse me, what we know. I'll be glad to have an explanation. First of all, there must have been a miscount of sections. because we counted and counted and counted. There were 224 ballots the first time cast. And this is counted by every person in the primary. So there were 224 the first time, and you brought 3 to me later. That makes what?
227.
No, well, I'm sorry.
He didn't count the illegal one.
Just one illegal. Make sure to do it, yeah.
It's a little late for that.
Would you please repeat the figures for president?
I'll leave you that. It's gonna give the whole report. I move the, report.
Who else was on that? Bussy, Lane, Marion Hayes. It's just weird. Yeah, we counted those things up back at times, and they had to do this count out loud. And it could have been easy because they got confused several times up in the back.
We have, really some conflict in our counts. We've gone over the figures of the count as we called off. And, you've just heard the chair of the tellers, give us, their report, which they, in their individual count validated. So, what is, your pleasure on handling this?
I move to accept the teller's report.
Is there question or discussion?
They didn't get a number for what? Did they say they didn't get a?
We had more than we had identified in the count of sections.
Of course, I don't think that was really a very exact count, because as you remember, some people counted ahead, some people lost the count. And I think that's never a very valid count. The valid count is the number of ballots you handed out.
We have a motion to accept the teller's report. All in favor of this motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Then the ballot is accepted as presented by the chair of the teller. I declare the following as duly elected for president: Mrs. Margaret Armstrong; second vice president, Mrs. Merle Lott; treasurer, Sister Mary Christian; directors, Mrs. Gladys Garland, Miss Kay Harper, and Miss Mary Damage; chairman, Committee on Nominations, Mrs. Charlotte Sachs. Are any or all, I hope, of the elected officers present? Will you please come front, Mary?
Get up there. We want everybody to see you. Get up there. See you. Right here. Let's go. Stop now. Where am I going? Look, there's not going to be enough room. I'm in the first. Oh, it's just too
establishment and designing sections in accordance with new bylaws. You must have charge of these responsibilities. The treasurer is the Christian, charged by our bylaws with these responsibilities to receive and charge of all funds of the association by such fund in the bank designated by the board of directors he wills, only when they shall have been approved by the president and secretary. She shall report to the board of directors and financial standing of the association, shall keep an itemized account of all receipts and disbursements, give written report at meetings of the board of directors of the association, shall pay those dues that are designated to the York State Nurses Association and designated as identified by our bylaws. The second office of second vice president, Mrs. Merle Watt, is charged with the bylaws to perform the duties of the president in the absence of the inability to serve as the president and first vice president. In case of vacancy in the office, to fill the vice president office and to serve as chairman of the program committee. And our president, Mrs. Armstrong, you are charged by our bylaws to preside at all meetings of this association, the executive board, and conduct them by formal order of business. Sign with the secretary all vouchers ordered by the board before payments be made by the treasurer. Submit referendum votes to the board for verification. Deliver an address at the annual meeting. Sign all contracts ordered by the association or by the executive board. Be a member ex officio of all committees except the committee on nomination, on which you may not serve. You may establish and appoint special committees in case of emergency and approval of the board of directors. Call special meetings. Represent this association at meetings of the executive board and the advisory council of the Georgia State Nurses Association. You have heard me review with your elected officers their charges as identified by our bylaws. You that were tellers, recall that in my closing remarks, I had leaving this office said our challenges are great and many, and I would remind us that my wish was that God see us to our cause. That's their challenge. First, official act. We have to take a motion first. In favor of this motion, please say aye. Aye.
There ain't none. I have to go get my medicine. That's why we asked you again on getting them clarified.
I was gonna move that we accept last year's group, but I understand Ms. Garland's on that, and she's already on too.
I suggest Catherine Pope. She works
She's
on
on-
that Red Cross
yeah,
disaster committee already.
She's real good.
I nominate Dorothy Bloom, B-L-O-M-E, she's on.
Well, this was a motion.
Oh, no, okay.
I move that the group be accepted from last year, excluding Ms. Garland, and she nominated Ms.
Well, we can, it's been moved and seconded that we re-elect the, group that served last year, excluding Mrs. Garland. Any discussion?
We're gonna let more than we, can't we add more?
Is
Nancy Johnson a member? Carolyn, I think she is.
Yes, I think she is.
She's very active in the Red Cross. She's always
What
doing
section she in?
NSA.
I think she is.
Because she would be real good to have.
Can I include that in my motion?
Yeah.
You should.
I would, you second.
Yeah.
I
Nancy
move that we
Johnson,
accept
madam.
last year's group with the exception of Ms. Garland and replace Ms. Garland with Ms. Catherine Pope. And I better write it before I forget.
Does that close all other nominations, Louis Mary? Does that close all other
Yeah.
nominations?
Makes her meeting. Does the person who seconded the original motion second? It's been moved and seconded that we re-elect last year's committee with the exception of Mrs. Garland, and that we replace Mrs. Garland with Catherine Pope. Do you wish to speak
Yes.
up?
Madam Chairman, could we, before she gets this written, add on here to add Miss Nancy Johnson to this committee, because she and Miss Pope work together with the Red Cross quite a bit, and I think this would really help. Could we amend her motion to include, or would that be too many on the committee?
Well, it was 4 last year and 5 this year on the paper.
Well, she's just listed with no number
I'm
here.
just-
Because this would really,
Include her in the motion, if this is just.
this, I think it would be.
They'd replace Miss Garland with Miss Pope and Miss.
No, I didn't say that.
And then Ms.
Oh, dear.
Will it be all right to say replace Miss Garland with Miss Pope and then add Miss Johnson? But we're getting involved.
What, couldn't we,
Withdraw your motion.
Maybe I.
You want me to withdraw the motion?
no, I think that you could say dropping Mrs. Garland's name and adding whatever you want to. Would this
Adding
be
other
all right?
nominations.
Yeah.
Actually, you could name it as far as that's concerned. The committee be those members of the committee last year with the exception of Miss Garland, with the addition of Miss Pope and Miss Johnson. Just that.
And adding Johnson and Pope.
The addition of Pope
And that you second this after we. Now, it has been moved and seconded that we re-elect last year's committee with the exception of dropping Mrs. Garland's name and adding the name of Miss Catherine Pope and Miss Johnson. Then making the committee Miss Alice Budd, Mary Stodgel, Evelyn Rowe, Catherine Pope, and
Nancy Johnson.
Nancy Johnson. Is there discussion? All those in favor of this motion, please say aye. Opposed, no. The committee then is Alice Budd, Mary Stodgel, Evelyn Rowe, Catherine Pope, and Nancy Johnson. What is your wish regarding the chairman of this committee?
I move that Alice, did you say something?
I just asked if she were.
I move that Alice Budd be made chairman of the Committee on Nursing and National Disaster and Defense. Could I ask a question? Could I add another, that we move that someone else be chairman and then we vote on those two? Is that?
Well, you're just not in favor, this is a motion.
Making a motion.
So
You
you
don't
don't
have
have
to vote
this
on it.
motion.
Okay.
Well,
What did you
Now,
have
see,
in
this
mind?
got to be long.
Excuse me just a minute. See, this is the difference in your nominations. If she nominated her as chairman, then you could nominate someone else as chairman of the committee, you see.
Could I withdraw my move?
It's not effective anyhow, it hasn't been second. Oh, so terrible.
I'm gonna make sure to blow up, Miss Lewis.
Withdraw my move.
Maybe that wasn't proper, but I moved,
Lost
so.
for lack of a second.
Okay.
Well, it was drugs, but I didn't recognize you.
All right. Very good.
All right, let
Get
me, I
recognition first.
think we're getting a little tired, we need to stand up a minute. What is your desire regarding, chairman of the committee?
I move that Ms. Catherine Pope be chair
Second the motion.
of the committee, Nursing and National Defense and Disaster.
It has been moved and seconded that we ask Ms. Catherine Pope to serve as chairman of this committee. Is there discussion?
I think she'd make a very good chairman.
All those in favor of Ms. Catherine Pope as chairman of this committee, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
One more.
The Committee on Professional Practice, we should have one representing each occupational section. What is your,
I nominate Ernestine Phillips.
what
Private
section?
duty. Private duty.
Virgin McKenzie. Bernice who?
Virgin McKenzie.
Virgin McKenzie, M-C-K-I-N-Z-E-Y.
I nominate Betty Blake.
Dorothy Bloom, general newman.
Dorothy who, excuse me?
Bloom, B-L-O-M-E. What was that third?
Betty Blake, EACP, Dorothy Bloom, GD. What was Miss McKenzie's first name?
Miss
Virgin, V-I-R-G-I-E.
Oh, is that a woman or man?
Woman.
Miss Lipton.
Is that Miss Lipton? Whether it's been cleared with the state or not, I don't know, but, we still have her in membership.
I nominate her,
She might.
Esther Lipton.
Virgin McKenzie.
They said they hadn't gotten her high school record
I
yet.
nominate Mary Woody, NSA. Esther Lipton is public hearing.
General duty.
No,
Betty Blake and McKenzie both private duty.
Betty Blake is EACP.
Somebody, both Phillips then.
Phillips,
Private duty.
private
McKenzie.
Virgin McKenzie.
What's
Oh,
McKenzie?
I didn't get
OH, occupational
Is it
health.
Evelyn Phillips?
Virgin,
Oh,
Ernestine.
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 Are there further nominations? Are there further nominations?
Well, we left out one of the groups, we don't have,
we got six.
we got two
Oh,
private
different.
duties.
Ernest
Right.
Lipton is public health.
Well, how about Phillips and McKenzie?
Phillips is
Occupational
occupational
health.
health.
Oh, I'm saying,
Are there further nominations? Hearing none, I declare the nominations closed. We have only one nominee for each office. Is it your wish that these, since there are only one nominee for each office, from each section, the chair declares Ernestine Phillips, Virgie McKenzie, Betty Blake, Dorothy Bloom, Esther Lipton, Mary Woody as the members of the Committee on Professional Practice. What is your wish regarding the chairman of this committee?
I'd like to suggest Esther Lipton, chairman.
Esther Lipton has been nominated for chairman. That's not a motion. Or is it?
Yeah.
It is a motion. It has been moved that Esther Lipton be chairman.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that Esther Lipton
That is all.
serve as chairman of this committee. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you. You read it before. The chair would like to suggest that you stand up for 2 minutes.
Anybody need energy before we come to order, let me know.
Our next order of business is to set a time and place of the meeting.
And that's for your board, you have to, your board, and Monday is the only day I believe you said, sister, that we can get the room in here, is that right?
No.
It is?
You can get anytime.
Well, you usually, according to the bylaws, we have the board meeting just prior to the regular meeting, so it's a choice between Monday or Tuesday.
Well, Tuesday you can't have, no, I didn't know it was that
Yes,
Wednesday.
yes, because, unless you want to have it
Except the first Tuesday, you could, to be the Board of Governors in there,
the
Tuesday.
second Thursday of the month is our meeting day.
Well, you could have the first Tuesday. Can you just put us here? Do you know anything on first Tuesday? It's just Board of Governors that meets regularly in here. How about the staff?
No, there's no reason that I know of. Oh, wait a minute, they do have ICU at 5 o'clock on the first Tuesday.
Well, that would be Monday or Tuesday. Monday or Tuesday's open to the board. And we have Board of Governors on Tuesday, the fourth Tuesday of the month. Is Monday a bad time for anybody? I don't even know.
How about the time on that too? We have,
What,
whether 4 or 4:30?
Go ahead, Paul.
this room is available the first Monday. Would it be suitable for each of you to have our Board of Directors meeting on the first Monday?
Of each month.
It's the second Monday, prior to the meeting.
Oh.
And it'll run the first
Sometime Monday prior to the second Thursday.
Monday, Friday.
Alternate months. No, I mean, if it's prior to the meeting, we know when the meeting is, so I don't need to elaborate on that.
Except July. What time, 4 o'clock?
Well, I'm waiting for them to, I hear no objection to the Monday prior to the second Thursday. So, if this is agreeable, and it obviously is, we will have our Board of Directors meeting on that date in this room. And now, what time you have been having your meeting at 4:30. I arbitrarily asked that you meet today at 4 o'clock because, well, these meetings last pretty long, it seems. I have not been on board for a good many years, but they usually last a long time, and sometimes you get a little hungry. So what time would you like to move?
I'd like to move that they be held at 4 o'clock instead of 4:30.
Oh,
That was not one, yeah.
Been moved and seconded that we hold the meeting at 4 o'clock. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of having our meeting at 4 o'clock, please say aye. And the meeting will be held at 4 o'clock on the Monday
It's
preceding the...
impossible for me to come any earlier than I do. I hope everyone understands that I cannot leave my place of work until 5, and I'll get here soon thereafter as I can. Whether you want to continue to come in late, or whether not represent our section.
Well,
I know it's majority, so if there's any way, if they'd rather our section be dissolved and not have a voice in it, or...
do you mind coming late?
I don't mind coming late, I just hate to come late. I like this afternoon, I was at loss to know who to nominate because I didn't know who had been nominated on the committees before I got here, so I just stayed without making any suggestions after I got here.
Well, it is my feeling, since the majority have wished to meet at 4 o'clock in this room on the Monday preceding the second Thursday, that if you don't mind coming late, we certainly want occupational health represented on the board.
But I just wanted to understood that that's the why, because I cannot leave early from work.
Thank you.
Another point on that is, do we continue to have our regular meetings? We've stated in bylaws the time and place, the second Thursday, at St. Joseph's. We request that each year, the auditorium or elsewhere, for the regular meetings.
Can we set the time for that?
You already have that in your bylaw, the time, but not the place. We set the place each year, and then I write Sister a letter confirming.
You mean the
calendar.
date or the time of
No,
day?
the date is already done, but the
Yeah.
place,
But the
where
ti-
you want it.
How about the time of day?
Oh, that already has been done by the assembly, that it be at 4:30.
Can we continue to meet at St. Joe's Auditorium?
Now, the time
Well, 4:30.
That has been done by the body. That is at an annual meeting, that they used to alternate at 7:30 and 4:30, but they voted that all meetings at an annual meeting about 2 years ago, that they be held at 4:30.
I see that is a standing rule, should be put somewhere so somebody knows, not the bylaw.
Why do they meet so late, 4:30?
Well, they used to alternate to give the night group, the people that work in occupational health and all, an opportunity. But then it got so dangerous out at night that there were more in the majority that wanted it at 4:30 in the afternoon. But at any rate,
That seems to me would be decided by the association and not by this group.
well, the place.
The place?
We're talking about the place now, we're not talking about the time. The time was already set by the General Assembly at an annual meeting 2 years ago.
It says.
Well, did they
time and
set the
of the
place
meeting.
too?
No, they didn't set the place. They left that up to the board. You have to get out and find a place sometime on these auditoriums and all, where they can accommodate them.
Well,
But the assembly did vote to have it at 4:30 instead of alternating between 7:30 and 4:30. So the time has been set, all we need is a place.
It is available.
Yes.
Is it your wish then that we shall continue to meet at St. Joseph's Infirmary in the auditorium as usual? I saw heads nodding, I think that we were in agreement. Would like for us to write a letter to them, thanking them for this privilege.
And then we request the schedule for the rest of the year, and they confirm it to us.
Now, our next part of the agenda is to appoint a parliamentarian. So would you-
I can be the room, you know.
Would you like
Talk
to
all
be-
you need.
Are you available?
You always talk all you need. I promise to get the negative votes.
Can you put up with us?
Are you available, Ms. Lewis?
Mm-hmm.
Then I so move that Ms.
I
Lewis be
second.
asked to help us out some more.
Okay. I feel like instead of excluding her from the room, we ought to give her a rise and bowl of thanks. Certainly has been a great
Just love to teach you sometimes.
Well, if we get enough money, we'll do
Well, if
it.
you ever teach a bunch of
We'll have
gas,
lessons.
I'll talk during the meeting. Oh, me, I haven't found it so. Our next item on the agenda, and I know we are getting tired, but is to appoint a legal counsel.
The last one we had was Margaret Thurman, who is a former member of the nursing group, and she is a personal friend of our past president. And she did not make any charges for our legal consultation during the year. Now, whether she'd continue or not, I have had no indication that she will or wouldn't. But she was very kind about it and very interested and seemed to be most helpful.
She's a sister of Joy Bradley,
Is she?
who is the new director of the program at DeKalb College.
We have one thing to go before right now about those
Oh,
illegal
I know.
statements, because insurance companies have just refused to pay some this past week. I've had calls today about it. They won't pay them unless they are members of 5th District, and they don't want to pay the $50 for the registry, and $43 to us to get them. But we need to seek counsel from her on that. That's the president's first thing that we have carrying over from the other.
What is your wish regarding legal counsel?
Who seconded I move it with what was done.
Ms. Margaret Thurman. Thurman.
It is been moved and seconded that we appoint Ms. Margaret Thurman as legal counsel. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? No.
T-H-E-R-M-O-N.
Thurman.
We shall ask Mrs. Margaret Thurman if she will serve as our legal counsel. The next item is to appoint a chaplain. What is your wish?
Miss Hammett was last year.
I move.
Hudson.
Oh, that's Thurmond. Please excuse me. Or at least I had it printed that way last year. I hope I'm right.
T-H-E-R what?
Mond. I think it was M-A-N.
I thought it was M-A-N too.
I'll check it in.
Who's Mrs.
Did,
Sister Miss
uh,
I'll forward it.
You second that?
Was it
I
Kay?
second
Did you second?
Oh, second, yeah,
Thurman. You
Thurman,
second?
yeah, Thurman.
You keep pointing to her.
Kay did it.
Okay, thank you.
Signed your name too.
No.
It ain't legal.
Please give us that.
What is your wish regarding chaplain?
guess it's Dana Hudson.
What if there's anybody on the board that we could have, would be coming to the board meeting?
Mr. Hudson has been suggested.
Reverend Christian.
Suggestion.
I suggest Sister Christian.
Sister Christian has been
She's here
suggested.
anyway.
Pray,
Not tonight. Yeah, I've heard her once. Never did hear me pray. But
Are there further suggestions? Or nominations, I guess they become now. Ms. Dana Hudson has been nominated, and Sister Mary Christian has been nominated for chaplain. We will vote between the two, or rather we shall vote for one or the other. All those in favor of Ms. Dana Hudson, please raise your hand. All those in favor of Mr. Mary Christian, please raise your hand. Sister Mary Christian has been elected our chaplain. The next item of business is to appoint the auditors.
Our auditors have changed names. The Young and Garber are now Touche, and that's pronounced Touche. Ross, Bailey, and Smart. I thought it was Touche, but it's Touche, Ross, Bailey, and Smart in the First National.
Do they charge,
They're not, they charge us minimum. We are 160 now, and, for the district, it's more for the registry. And most of them charge $300 or $400 for that. I mean, they let us know that they're doing it as part courtesy, just at cost.
What is your wish regarding an auditor firm?
Touche and all?
We got a young man that first got us in trouble, but we've straightened him out, and he's been real helpful since then.
Touche to you, would you?
One of the nurses' husbands used to be in there, but he's been promoted now. He's gone after Lockheed, Mr. Hurst. But
Where's that letterhead you've got?
The firm of Touche, Ross, Bailey, and Smart has been nominated. You did nominate those.
Mm-hmm.
Are there further nominations? Hearing none, the chair declares that the firm of Touche, Ross, Bailey, and Smart be asked to serve as auditors.
You can't.
Well, as a rule, they have made the suggestion that the members serving on the 5th District Committee be asked to be submitted to the state for selection. That we use our same group of these people that we've always done. I mean, you may want to do something different, but that's been the procedure in the
Our
past.
next item on the agenda is to select names for GS&A committees. What is your wish? You have heard the statement of our executive secretary.
I move that we submit the district names to the state level.
There are about 3 committees in addition to ours, and there's something like memorial committees and headquarters committees, and I think I gave you a list of the ones that they have that we don't, but we're covered on most of them. They're just about 3. Headquarters, memorial, and others.
Our discussion.
And yes, well, I went through that with the proposed ones. With the ones that are proposed, these will be the different ones.
Memorial, recruitment, bulletin, headquarters, and
Those-
arrangements. committees that we do not have.
And their finance committee serves on their headquarters committee, so there would be very little difference there except for those 4 committees.
Well, your point in
I
giving
believe, excuse me?
question, submitting these names, is it that state would use these same people?
We send them our list of all of the people of our committees, and with the motion that you make, that they be suggested as members. And from that group, they select what they want. They don't take all of them, of course, and you add any names, additional names, you won't do that.
Didn't we at the last meeting have a letter read from,
Well, you had the legislative, but that was
That's
explained
what I
before
was
you
thinking.
came. That's an unfortunate thing, was that we make our selection of the chairman of the legislative committee before the state does. So there's nothing we can do except that have her to resign in the event she is put on that other committee.
Well, that
And
wasn't
according to
paid.
their new proposed bylaw, they will call in our legislative committee with a voice to vote. Isn't that right?
Yes. It has been moved that the names we have named today on our various committees be submitted or placed in nomination at the post-board meeting.
May I explain something just a minute too? The state committees are always elected at the post-convention board meeting. So this thing, aren't you giving the president, telling the president to submit these names, to nominate these people to these state committees?
That's right.
And then, of course, she'll have some that she doesn't have, that you'll have to let her use her discretion, I suppose. Because you're gonna be the only one there that can nominate these people.
It has been moved, start again. It has been moved that the names which we have, the people that we have elected this afternoon to the 5th District committees be, they elect too, so placed in nomination at the post-board meeting of GSNA for their committee. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. What I just said. Discussion.
What you supposed to say?
This is killing me. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Do you wish to suggest other names for the committees which we do not elect, which we have not elected this afternoon? Like I say, you don't have to.
As a member of the board, you automatically are authorized to make suggestions. Isn't that right?
She'd be there to do.
I suggest our president take her responsibility for doing this.
Vigorously, quietly.
That's right.
No, don't do it quietly, you might get hurt.
Oh, thank you very much on that.
As long as the door.
The next item that I have before me is to verify a referendum vote. It's my understanding that,
Madam Chairman, I'll own up to it. I took that vote and put it in my little folder for next board meeting last Thursday. And unfortunately, I didn't put it in, but as most of the older members remember, that if the referendum vote was passed out to the board because it concerned the retiring president, that the Finance Committee recommended that a suitable gift be given them, and ask on there which they preferred, $25 or $35, and there were 9 for $35 and 2 for $25.
You know, she worried about this for 30 minutes today, trying to figure out what that was.
Who?
Pope.
She did.
Yeah, she didn't know what it was. She couldn't figure out what they had to verify.
We're supposed to verify all referendum votes.
Yeah, they got back last night.
We're supposed to verify
But she didn't
all
know about it, did she? That's
She got
why
a check before she left.
I
because
know,
gave
but
it to
she
the meeting.
didn't,
No.
she didn't connect this. 'cause she-
Well, that's what it was, and
Right in the brain,
unfortunately,
that's
I
what it
didn't
was.
bring it, it's in the folder, but the phone went constantly this morning, I thought I had it.
Well,
You have
Sorry.
heard, what the vote was all about.
And a suitable president for the retiring president.
What is your wish?
I move that we accept the majority of the referendum vote. How would you make a motion? That we
Verify
accept
that.
I move that we verify the referendum vote, 9/11/67,
Regarding the retiring president.
regarding retiring president's
Yeah.
gift. These things are all right.
Yeah. Oh, $35, right. Get the thing, I'm sorry on that, next time I'll get that folder, look. I was
It
so
has
sure I
been
had-
moved that we verify the referendum vote of 9/11/67 regarding the $35 gift to our outgoing president. Is there a discussion? Token gift be
anyway, since
sound better, or just gift?
Did you second it? Did I second it?
It was a suitable gift for the retiring president, was the way it was worded there, and she was given a check for the amount that they desired, but they were allowed to state their preference of whether $25, $35, 9 stated 35, and 2 stated 25.
Is there further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you. The next item on our agenda is plans for friendship dinner.
Madam Chairman, the reason that had to be proposed at this time, the chairman of the program committee is coming to office Thursday, and in order to plan for the friendship dinner, they would have to know now whether or not you wanted it, and whether you wanted to leave it up to them, or what to do with the program committee when they meet, because otherwise you'd have it in November, it would be at the time, lapse would be too, you would have to know now to make arrangements, if you want it.
What, is your wish?
You want to leave it up to them.
I move that we leave it to the program committee. We did it last year. Didn't have that much trouble.
It has been moved and seconded that we leave plans for the friendship dinner up to the program committee. Is there discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you. Our next item is plans for 1968 GSNA convention. It's about time that the 5th District had it. What is your wish?
May I also state that Ms. Alt, who is on the finance committee of last year, is the one that brought that to our attention and asked it be brought to the board, and in the event they'd like to extend the invitation at the forthcoming convention, since it had been about 6 years since 5th District had had it.
Okay, sign that one.
What is this
I
to
signed
just
your
say
name
whether
to
we
it.
want to?
Whether or not you want to extend an invitation to them
I
at
think we
the,
should. We haven't had.
at the forthcoming convention, since you used to have it every other year in Atlanta.
How long has it been
And
since
it kept
we've
our
had
budget
it?
from, so now it's,
Oh,
for the last
heavens,
6
we should
years,
have it.
it's been elsewhere. When Miss Whitaker was here, we had it at the Medical Academy, I think about 1961.
Carolyn, how much would it cost? How much money?
Well, we don't have any money, that's for sure.
They'll have to pay for it.
If we get by
No,
during
she
the year,
didn't have it that way.
we'll do well.
What'd you say, Miss Act?
We don't have the money. but we're hoping that next year's gonna be better. We had real good response from the Georgia Medical Association and the Hospital Association about ours. Yes, we've always had to raise money anyhow for the convention.
Well, maybe some other district will invite it there, and this would be something to think about if they don't.
Well, yes and no, I guess.
It'd be a shame if we didn't, because it's
Would you
been
wish to
6
make-
years.
Does somebody wish to
The board invited about 50
Well, if we wait till November, it will be after the convention, so that's why they asked us if we would,
Well, can the board take this action?
you're doing the interim between business, don't you?
Yeah, you can, sometimes you may get in trouble.
Well, there've been other years at convention, there was not an invitation extended for the next year, and the invitation then is given at the February board meeting. Does the board have the prerogative to do that?
Well, I don't know, all I know is that they asked me to put it on the agenda to see whether or not y'all want to do it, the finance, I mean, there's all from the finance committee, so if you wish to delay it, that's your
I
privilege.
move that this be tabled until our next board meeting.
It needed to get on the table.
Well, until we have,
Did it?
it should go to the section, I think.
it ought to be.
When is the section?
Could it go to the General Assembly on Thursday?
We can put it on November,
On
the
November.
the
November.
14th. See, that would be
That's
after the
the
convention. But you can still extend your invitation later.
Somewhat, no, I think it
I
was
think
just
it
disgusting.
was-
They
never did
ought to
get
do
out.
it, it never was actually done.
That was just in the event if you did want to go ahead and make any action there, ask you to put it on your agenda.
Well, I would like to move that we wait until after we have a district meeting in November to decide. Is that correct? We say it?
Is that what you want, or do you want, this matter referred to the district meeting in November?
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I move that this be referred to the district meeting. Been moved, this be referred, is there a second?
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded that we refer the matter of inviting the GSNA 1968 convention to Atlanta be referred to the district meeting in November. All those, in further discussion, all those in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Thank you. We will refer this to the, you did it? 5th District meeting in November.
Now, that last thing, number 11 on your card there, was put there by Miss Pope last year because there were matters that pertained to the the order of the year. She wanted to talk over and discuss with you, with the group, you know, plans that she had in mind at that time. And that was just in the event that anything came up that had to be taken care of now insofar as the order of business, that you be covered.
Well, the order of business is spelled out in your bylaws, isn't it?
No, she talking about this.
I'm talking about on this call meeting, if there was anything else that came up, that you had to, anything else that came up you had to discuss, that you had provisions for it. That's all.
Somewhere along the line, she's one Baptist, she brought up Presbyterian, she's doing two folds.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Was that over this discussion on that was something else I wanted to ask about, another item. This, you're through with this. When other nurses out of other sections go to the hospital and do private duty, where do they get their, receipt books that they give to the patients?
Various sources. There are at least 24 different groups circulating them and having them printed on their own. One of the private duty nurses is getting them done and selling them to her groups. Ms. Zerps had her personal ones done and sell them. Georgia Baptist has some, but it does not refer to 5th District. I'll look to see because,
Well, sometime we have.
well, you do have one person in 5th District, her husband had some printed, they claim it made a typographical error where they boosted the travel
probably
expense.
did.
And it states on that 5th District, which implies that they're a member of 5th
Oh.
District, but they are not. They deleted the seal and deleted the registry, but did not delete 5th District, which came up before the meeting before. And that has been referred to for legal counsel as soon as we make our.
Well, I know that, sometimes on the weekend, sometimes occupational nurses, public health nurses, or some will do private duty over at the hospital, and this girl that was riding with me over the weekend, now private duty has their troubles and their hard times, but we're a pretty good bunch as a whole. And, said there was a nurse from the public health that did private duty over the weekend that wore sneakers and had a regular uniform on. And I just wanted y'all to know those things that are going on.
Well, they get statements
They get
from
by
any
with it.
sources, but John Hancock refused to pay them last week.
Well, I'm talking
One
about,
person had to go down and get the register so she could make them out on
I'm talking about private duty having a hard time anyway, and then for nurses to come in and, well, they, you know, private duty gets stuff a bad name from that then.
Wouldn't the person who employs that individual have some say so? This is not official, we're talking.
I don't know. Some of them just think that's what they're supposed to do when they're employing.
Do any of you have announcements that you would like to make at this time? Yes.
General Duty's having a meeting Wednesday, 7:30 this Wednesday, at Quaffalong Auditorium, and Mrs. Ford is speaking on nurses of profession.
The DNSA section meets here tomorrow night at 6, and Miss Jackie Tiller.
Public Health and Occupational Health meet on the 12th, because your cards went out this morning, Public Health will go out in the morning. So I got jammed with my
I'm sure all of you are aware of this, but because you've just gotten your Georgia nursing, but our convention is the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of November. The 31st of October, you can register, and there is a free banquet free dinner that night, and but the actual business meeting of the assembly starts on the 1st, November the 1st. I hope everybody will try to be there and encourage your staff to be there.
Did you just recently get that copy? I haven't gotten those.
Oh, I believe it came Saturday.
The name of the theme is to develop the potential, right?
To fulfill the
To
potential.
fulfill the potential.
Sounds like some good programs going on. Are there further announcements? Do I hear a motion to adjourn? It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no.